You got some attention recently for being somewhat critical of President Biden, saying you weren't ready to endorse him yet. What's your holdup there?
What's my holdup? Well, first of all, I think everyone should focus on hyper-local. We get caught up in the...
Well, first of all, I just think that y'all should know that finding this original clip is unheard of, because The View, they took it off of their YouTube channel. It used to be on their channel, but I've noticed that I cannot find it on their channel anymore. But I wanted to share this so you guys can see what I mean when I say the feminizing of black men. I don't like it, like, at all. I don't like it at all. But let's go ahead and get into it.
The soap opera of federal elections, and that's fine. But if you are concerned with the federal election, you don't know who your city council or your wardsman is, you don't know who your mayor is, and you don't have a good list of state representatives.
I'm gonna bring your attention to Sunny. I'm sorry, guys. Once again, thank you to every eye who lands on these videos. Please don't forget to hit the subscribe and the like button and the notification bell. I'm gonna bring your attention to Sunny. The face speaks for itself, right? Okay, so let me just stopping this. Okay, I hear you.
Yeah, because if you keep the imagination alive, everything is possible.
That's right.
When you limit your imagination, nothing becomes as possible as it could be. So
now,
yeah.
I'm a former prosecutor.
Yeah.
And there were some other headlines that came out.
Mm-hmm.
And I was very upset about it.
Yeah.
Because it was unnecessary, and you don't do that on that special night.
Yeah.
Especially for...
She's scolding him in front of the audience. This is emasculating.
What I read about.
Yeah.
So what I'm going to ask you is...
We're going to give a special shout out to Nerk News because he was able to find the stuff. So, and obviously I'm using his footage. Okay. So shout out to Nerk News.
There was an incident at the Grammys. Mm-hmm. It led to you being taken out in handcuffs and arrested.
I mean, you could just see the contempt radiating from her here. It's a bit ironic that she uses his success and moment of achievement to humble brag about herself and then chastise him for ruining that special night by getting arrested.
So that you hear a man saying it, right? Like, I mean, again, shout out to Nerk News, but I want to definitely, like, I'm using his footage, so I want to see where he goes next with this, because, like, what happened next? That's what I'm telling you. You can't find the original of this.
About a year and a half for who's my mayor going to be. I think that Andre Dickens is doing a great job around housing in Atlanta, and I don't want that to be lost. Even though we have a Republican governor, Brian Kemp, I have a good relationship with him. I like what he's done in terms of Georgia business. We've been leading business amongst all states for the last 10 years, and he brought back the Hope Scholarship and expanded it. In terms of nationally, I'm just kind of doing what my grandfather said, staying out of white folks' business and watching what happens. I'm going to see what happens. If there's a candidate that pops up around September, October that needs a push that's really, and policy-wise is good for us, going to jump up. But for right now, I just don't want to be involved in the soap opera because I'm much too concerned about what's going on in Atlanta on a hyper-local level.
That's so
you lost me a little bit with your support of Kemp, but let me tell you this.
Not support of Kemp. That's some misinformation. You cannot like me, but don't lie on me. I saw someone I really respect, a black woman who's a commentator.
So you don't support him, you like his policy.
Well, I support
some specific ones he named.
Beyond it, he's the governor of my state, so I have to be involved with him because I can't divorce myself. But let me say this. If you criticize someone, don't lie. I'm not going to not have dinner with the king on behalf of my people. I have to do that.
Let me just point some of Biden's achievements.
And so there you go, right? So first of all, she shouldn't even, okay, so maybe he really didn't vote for Kemp. Okay, fine. But that wouldn't have even been my answer. Like, oh, I have a problem with the fact that you support Kemp. That's your problem. Like, I mean, okay, now what? Right? But then, it's like this whole thing of like, but he goes and explains himself, just the policies. Okay, and then she's getting ready to get him on something else. We didn't even see what the last thing was. She chastises him through the whole appearance. This behavior is, it's inappropriate, for lack of a better term.
Achievements out for the black community, right?
Well, there you go. I mean, who wouldn't want to join a party that treats you like this? Who wouldn't want...
Right, and so now she's going to go through all these achievements of what he's done for the black community, what Biden's done. Look, listen, I'm going to tell y'all right now, okay? Shout out to everybody watching, right? Like, I get it. I'm not saying that people shouldn't care about their people. I'm not. But I'm saying use the tools that you got so you could get ahead and make people aware of these tools that are out here, right? There's so many programs. There's programs for so many different things, right? And I don't want to say what kind of things, because Black people aren't just people who do a one kind of thing, like, oh, they got programs for felons and all. No, but they got first-time home ownership programs for Black people. Yes, they have grants for things like that. They have like all kinds of things. And look, there's one that grants to start a new business, all of that. If it's already there, take it and use it for good. Like somebody like me, look, I'm going to keep it real. As an American, I'm not into all of that. For real, to be honest, I'm not. But it's here, right? So I would take a grant, I'm going to use it, for a small business. Start up a business that does something that promotes some sort of prosperity to all Americans. So I want to make my country better. I don't know, that it does something about like bringing knowledge to people or something, mostly more than likely something in the media or something like that, right? Like that's what I would use it for, right? So I can benefit the country, because this country needs some serious help. We need to get back to the people, right? Okay, but I'm digressing a little bit here. I said all that to say the fact that like you can't just stay out of it and then want things to land on your lap. And that's what they expect of him. Oh, you support Kemp's policies. I mean, okay, what's the big deal? But this woman, she has a problem.
But they were, in fact, enslavers. Canceled in Spain and then Curacao, and then they moved all of their slaves to Puerto Rico. And so the family business, I had been told that they were printers and journalists, but they were in fact enslavers. And my mother, so
A hush fell over the
it was
audience.
deeply disappointing. And it's deeply disappointing because my mother really identified as Puerto Rican. She was part of the civil rights movement, and she was deeply ingrained in Black culture, and identified herself as Black for race, but Hispanic for ethnicity.
Okay.
But her race is white. She's European.
Yeah.
I know. It's
Yeah.
weird because when you look at her, my mother's blonde and she has light eyes, and my whole family looks like that. So I think inside, I sort of knew that this was my history,
So
and that's
this is what it is, right? These people with borderline personality disorder, hold on.
probably why I didn't want to do it. And I spoke.
It's because, I feel like this. I'm going to keep it really real with you. Like, let's just have the hard discussions, right? Because I felt the same way, not really, growing up, that I wasn't Black enough, right? We really got to stop doing that to people. Okay, fine. People are people. You're Black no matter what. You're white no matter what. You know what I mean? Like, you're you. You're European, Irish, Scottish, Haitian, Jamaican, whatever. You're you. Be the best you that you can be. You have a lot of people who grew up with this, allegedly, in my opinion, a disorder. But it is a feeling of not enough, so I have to overcompensate. And this is where all this, I'm saving Black people, let me talk to Black men like this so I can save him, comes from, right? Number two, okay, your family owned slaves. What that got to do with your mom, right? What does that got? I mean, like, nobody has a flux capacitor, a DeLorean, to go back in time to change anything. Who cares? Like, to me, what the heck am I going to be mad at you? But that's the thing. The left has been promoting this thing like we need to be mad at all the white people for having slaves, right? But the white people today don't have slaves. Like, how are you going to be mad at people for their family history, right? But by her standards, though, we should have canceled her. That's why people got to chill. They really do. And Sunny is one who still, at whatever age she is, has not learned to humble herself. She just simply hasn't. I don't want to make my channel only about Sunny Hostin. Although these people that give me, there's so much going on The View right now. They are chaotic. So I'm going to cover it. I'm going to cover it, right? But maybe one day she'll learn. I don't know. I don't know. But the whole thing, take a break. Take a break. and just to chill. By the way, the civil rights movement, too, I just want to say, was subverted by some very, very radical communists who did the wrong thing with it. That's a discussion for like a live one day that I have no problem doing. Drop a comment below, actually, if you do want to see the live. I'll see you guys at the next one. Bye.